Hello, thank you for watching this video to learn more about the transfer process between Gateway to NKU. This is the first video of our Transfer Tuesday series, and we'll look at the basics of the Gateway to NKU program and how to sign up for classes at NKU as part of this program. My name is John Hall. I'm the coordinator of transfer and an academic advisor, and we'll be happy to help you out and answer any questions you have in your journey and process to being successful in your transfer program. So to get started with the Gateway to NKU program, it is considered a dual enrollment program. This means that you can be considered enrolled at both Gateway and NKU while you're still basically a Gateway student. Well, what's really cool about that is that this would allow you the opportunity to get an NKU student ID that you can use while you're still, taking all your classes at Gateway. Having an NKU ID would allow you to access campus facilities like the rec center or the library at NKU. You would also have access to an advisor. You could join student clubs and organizations and be involved on campus. You can even live on campus with housing options. There are discounted parking pass options if you're interested in that. You could access the Career Center and utilize their internship database or attend their career fair. And ultimately, you could take up to 4 classes that NKU teaches that we don't, um, and they would be taught or charged rather at Gateway's tuition rate. And that's a really big perk of the program. So 2 big questions that we get a lot are who is eligible? So students that are enrolled at Gateway can sign up for this program as long as they have a 2.0 cumulative GPA. Now, new students to Gateway that haven't taken any classes, they can sign up as well and often do so during their first advising meeting when they sign up for their first semester of classes. Totally fine. Another big question we get is about the courses. So students can only get the tuition rate benefit for NKU classes while you're still a Gateway student. Once you transfer to NKU, then you're an NKU student taking NKU classes and paying the NKU tuition rate. Now, engagement with this program is really up to the student. Some students are in it and don't really do anything. They're not involved on campus at NKU and maybe don't even take a class at NKU, and that's okay. They're still in the program. It still helps the transfer process go a little bit smoother when it comes time for that. But not all students, want to use this program, and that's an important thing to remember is that it's up to you. You can use it as much or as little as you feel like is necessary, but it still helps NKU know that you're at Gateway and that you want to go to NKU, and it helps make that transfer process easier. A note about the classes, right? With the courses that you want to take, what we try to do is kind of mix and match what you need based off of your major. So let's say your major is journalism, for example. You may be able to take a lot of your courses here at Gateway that you need to complete the associate's degree that you're in at Gateway, but there may be a few journalism courses that you would take if you were an NKU student in your first 2 years and that we don't have here. And so that's where the Gateway to NKU program will really benefit you because you could take some of those journalism classes while you're still at Gateway. For example, maybe you're taking 3 Gateway classes and then you take 1 journalism class at NKU in maybe like your second or third semester. You can only take an NKU class once you complete 15 credit hours at Gateway, and then you can only take 2 classes after 30 credit hours, and then your third and fourth classes are after 45 credit hours. So we kind of stagger it to make sure you're not, taking them all at the same time. And you also have to be enrolled in an equal or more number of Gateway classes than you are NKU classes to still be considered a Gateway student and qualify for the tuition discount. So some important notes there about taking classes. The other big question that we get about this program is how do I sign up? So what we've got here on the screen, this is the NKU website for Gateway to NKU. If you just Google Gateway to NKU, you'll go to the result that is at NKU's website. It has a lot of great information here about the program. It has our pathways, which we'll talk about in another video, but you can see the different programs that NKU has and the courses that you would take at Gateway to get to those. It has information here about a lot of benefits that we've already talked about. the requirements to be in the program, and then we actually have the instructions and the application link right here. So to apply, you submit the NKU application. You'll fill out that information and make sure you follow the instructions that are listed here, because you do need to mark that you're a non-degree seeking student, that you're attending Gateway, and the pathway that you want to go for, which is the major that you're interested in. And all those things are important because that's what gets you marked as a 2 NKU student. It waives the application fee and just makes sure your application is coded directly from NKU. If you have any questions at all about the application process, certainly reach out to your academic advisor or myself as the coordinator of transfer, and we'll be happy to help you out. But again, instructions and the application link are right here on this NKU application page. Once you submit your application, that will go to NKU. They send the list back to Gateway. We review and make sure that you're eligible with your GPA and that you're enrolled. And then you'll get a communication that says, that you've been accepted to the program. Here is the information that you need for NKU, including your username and your student ID number at NKU. You'll also be given your advisor contact. So if you're interested in taking classes at NKU, you already have your person that you need to reach out to get connected at NKU to sign up for classes. We encourage you to check your email and watch out for the Gateway Weekly emails to see about upcoming events for the Gateway to NKU program. We do a number of things throughout the year, including just a general orientation, information sessions, a ready to transfer event. And we also have a big event each semester called a Pathways event, where we bring together advisors and faculty members from both schools, and students have an opportunity to interact with them and ask questions about the major and just get to meet some people that they'll be working with once they transfer to NKU. So lots of great events that you'll want to take a part of. Lastly, for students that are interested in enrolling in classes, that have been in the program and are interested in taking a class or two at NKU, the first step you want to take is to meet with your Gateway advisor and see how those courses will fit with your plan at Gateway. Once you have a plan in place, then get connected to the assigned advisor at NKU, and they can help you actually sign up for that class at NKU. Again, you'll want to do this early because waiting till the last minute, it's going to be tough to connect with an advisor over there and make sure you get everything done before the class starts. So do this as early as possible to make sure that you've got a plan in place and can get the classes that you want. Last thing about classes, um, you can still get financial aid to help pay for your class at NKU. There is an extra form that you need to fill out to make sure that the course at NKU would still get counted in addition to your classes at Gateway. That way, if you're taking, say, 3 classes at Gateway and 1 class at NKU, you can still be considered a full-time student for financial aid purposes. So you just want to make sure you fill out that form and get that back to either myself or our financial aid office at Gateway to make sure that your courses at NKU will count towards that. Any additional cost at NKU for books or supplies, you will need to pay that directly to NKU. If you don't get financial aid for your courses, you would pay a separate tuition charge to NKU for that class as well. Again, these details we can talk a little bit more in depth about when that time comes, but we just wanted to give you a little bit of overview about the Gateway to NKU program, how to sign up for it, and how to take courses if you're interested in that. Again, my name is John. I work with transfer students here at Gateway. My email address is john.hall, Hall, at kctcs.edu, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you again for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and best of luck in your transfer process.